The two people are dead after a news helicopter crashed in New Jersey overnight. The helicopter belongs to the ABC News station in Philadelphia, and it crashed as it was returning from covering a story at the Jersey Shore. The news outlet confirmed both the pilot and photographer on board were killed. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. A federal judge says Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry has to turn over more than 1,000 text messages as the investigation of the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol continues. Fox 43's Marshall Keeley joining us to break down what the judge's ruling means for Americans and for Congressman Perry.
Yeah, Evan, this ruling is the latest in a series of decisions regarding text messages Congressman Perry sent to top Republican officials and Trump lawyers following the 2020 presidential election. And this time, the judge combed through each message individually.
In the lead up to the day now known simply as January 6, Republican U.S. Congressman Scott Perry worked closely with allies of former President Trump in an attempt to overturn the results of the election.
Congressman Perry was acting as a conduit between some lawyers who were outside the government, lawyers who were inside the government, and other right-wing and Republican officials, to include the head of the Republican National Committee.
Text messages seized from Perry's phone in an FBI search warrant detail his correspondence with the Trump legal team and others who have now been charged in an alleged scheme to defraud the United States government.
There were a number of different ideas that were being floated. One of them was for then Vice President Mike Pence to not certify the electors. And to this end, there are text messages apparently that are about states coming up with alternative slates of electors, which is illegal.
In Tuesday's decision, federal judge James Boasberg noted the FBI copied the contents of Perry's phone during the seizure last summer, believing they would be relevant in the investigation into the January 6 Capitol riot. Since then, Perry's lawyers have been fighting to keep more than 2,000 text messages private, saying the Constitution protects lawmakers' speech about legislative proceedings. A lower court found many of the text messages did not qualify as such.
The lower court ruling said, yes, it can seize this phone, but let's go through all of these messages.
After reviewing and categorizing each message, District Judge Boasberg ruled that more than 1,600 messages can be used, finding almost 400 messages are protected.
What this, I think, should show to the American public is that there are institutions in place that will uphold the Constitution, regardless of who is in office.
And in a statement to Fox 43, Congressman Perry's lawyers wrote, in part, Congressman Perry had an obligation to his constituents and the nation more generally to investigate the seemingly credible information he received about discrepancies in the 2020 election. It continues, quote, "We are reviewing how the district court applied the standards required by the D.C. Circuit and will decide whether to seek further judicial review." And as for the political impacts, Dagnes believes this case will only serve to strengthen the rhetoric on either side of this deeply divisive political climate, saying Perry's supporters are likely unfazed by the ruling. We have the full response from Perry's attorneys right now on fox43.com. Marshall Keeley, Fox 43 News.